welcome back, and welcome back. Today we are going to be making my Roman style chicken. Bell peppers, yellow and red. We're going to use black pepper. We're going to use some flour, garlic salt, granulated onion, some smoked paprika, some Italian seasoning, whichever one you have is fine. Some garlic salt, some chicken broth. You can use wine in this dish too. We're going to use the tomatoes, the diced. I'm going to use the ones that's got the little chilies in them, which is like Rotel, the one with the tomato juice. We're going to use both of those cans. Some crushed red pepper. We're going to use some capers, some parsley. This is 10 chicken thighs. We're going to have the skin on as well as the bone in. Prosciutto. We're going to use some fresh oregano and some fresh thyme. And I hope you can get this shot here because there's so much stuff up here on this counter. Let's get cooking, you guys. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is season this meat. I'd say put in about 2 tablespoons. We're going to mix this all together. You can lay this out on a sheet or however you want to do it, and then just season it piece by piece if that's what you want to do. I'm going to rub mine all together so it'll be fine. So that was the garlic salt. This is going to be our granulated onion. We're going to go in with some of that black pepper. Try not to sneeze. And any seasonings that you see that you don't want to use, don't use them. Omit them, okay? We're going to go in with that smoked paprika. This is going to help with the color of the meat. It's going to help give us that beautiful golden color. I'm just going to turn this around the other way. Get a little bit more that way. There we go. And then the last seasoning I'm going to put in is the Italian seasoning. And like I said, we're going to rub this all in. Get it on all the meat. Bring them ones from the bottom on up. Get some of that seasoning on them. And then I didn't show you the olive oil. We are going to cook this in olive oil, okay? So get that pan heating up, whichever pan you choose to use. Oh yeah, this is going to be yummy. My mouth is already watering. Get it on all that meat. And like I said, you can absolutely put this on a plate or something and season it that way. Whichever works for you, okay? All right, so we're going to get over to this pan and we're going to get this going. I'll be right back. All right, you didn't see me show you the olive oil. And that's what I'm going to put into this bottom of this Dutch oven here. And I'm going to put in, I would say, about a third, 3/4 of a cup kind of sort of situation. Remember, you can always add to it. And the other thing that I didn't show you is dredging this in flour. We do definitely need to dredge this in flour. But now don't put your olive oil in your pan while your pan is heating up. We don't want to do that because olive oil, it will burn. Okay? So we're going to have to cook this in batches. We're going to cook this on 5 minutes each side. We're not worried about, at this point in time, about the chicken being done because it's still going to cook even after this. We've got a little bit of a process we're going to be doing here, okay? So I'm going to try to get 4 in here because, like I said, we're going to have to cook this in batches. All right. So 5 minutes each side. And I'll be back. Alright, after 5 minutes, this is what she looks like after I flipped her. And I'm going to do this until I get all my chicken done. And then we'll go to the next stage, okay? So 5 minutes each side. We're not worried about it getting done. It does not have to get done at this point, okay? We don't care about it being done because it's still going to cook. It's not done. From what we're going to do with it, it's not done, okay? I'll be back. Alright. All done, done, done. Now it's time for the next step, okay? Now, we'll say this. We're going to work with those drippings. Do not get rid of them. I'm getting ready to put my peppers and my prosciutto in there. I'll be right back. Okay, we've got that all in there. I did cut that up, as you can see. And so we're going to cook this until it gets a little brown. So about 5 minutes, we're going to cook this, all right? Stirring a little bit in between. Don't just let it just go and just sit there. I'm making sure I get it all, that olive oil and all those drippings at the bottom. See, we've gotten rid of those. pulling it right on up. That ain't nothing but flavor at the bottom of that pan, and we want all of it in this dish, okay? So I am going to let this go for about 5 minutes, and I'll be back. All right, this has been cooking for 5 minutes. I just put in 2 tablespoons of garlic. We're going to let this go for 30 seconds. Okay, 30 seconds is all it needs. So in 30 seconds, I'll be right back. 30 seconds is all it needs. After you cook this whole thing for 5 minutes, we're going to go 30 seconds with the garlic. Put in as much as you want or as little as you want, or don't put any at all. And if you don't, let's just skip this step. But I'm going to go for 30 seconds. I'll be right back. Okay, as you can see, I put the cans of tomatoes in. I went in about 2 tablespoons of our fresh herbs. All right, the oregano and the thyme. Now we're just going to stir this up. But I'm also going to go ahead and put in some of the red pepper flakes. This I put in merely just for flavor. So I'm going to go in with about a teaspoon. Okay? If you want more heat, feel free to do it. All right? Going to stir this on up. And we're going to let this cook for a couple of minutes, okay? I'll be back in exactly 2 minutes. All right, it's been 2 minutes, and I'm going to go in with about a cup of this chicken broth. Chicken stock, chicken broth, it doesn't matter. You know what? Since I made so much chicken, I am just going to go ahead and put this whole carton in. And if you are eating on a special diet where you don't eat meat, you can absolutely substitute the meat for mushrooms. Portobello mushrooms would be great. Absolutely. Do the same process, but just flour them down and everything. And saute them in that olive oil. And you can absolutely substitute it for that. That would be so good. I've done that. Just not doing it this time. And then just don't do the prosciutto. Okay? All right, so we're going to let this go. We're going to let it come to a boil. Just a couple of minutes. I'll be back. All right. Now I've got that chicken back in there. And I'm going to turn it down a little bit. And we're going to let this simmer for 30 minutes. Oh, yeah. 30 minutes. She shall simmer. And I'll be back. And I'll show you what she looks like. There she is. You finish her up with the parsley and the capers. Don't put those items on until you're ready to eat them. Things made easy with Gigi. All day, every day. Roman style chicken, you guys. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and share out the channel. Absolutely. Look at that. You can put it over a bed of noodles. You can even put it over rice. You can just put it with a big old dollop of mashed potatoes. Doesn't she look yummy? All right, you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. At least consider it. All right? All right, I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.